I'm Rod Clayton with the Paddle Channel, and today we're talking about pogies. Now, if you're an experienced surf ski paddler, you're probably thinking, yeah, duh, pogies. You're thinking if I'm going to paddle in the winter, I got to have a surf ski, I got to have a paddle, and I got to have pogies. But if you're fairly new to surf ski paddling, like I am, I've only been paddling the ski for about a year now. This was like a gift from above, discovering pogies. Now, I don't like being cold, and the older I get, the less cold I like to be. So I had tried everything, and what I found was paddling the surf ski makes your hands cold. I mean, I've paddled stand-up throughout winters, many winters. I paddled outrigger canoe through several winters, and I can tell you nothing made my hands as cold as paddling the surf ski. I don't know whether it's the paddle material, the paddle shaft material, the fact that water's coming down the shaft more, and stand up, your hand never contacts the water. But I just found that my hands were freezing. And if my fingers get cold, one thing I've learned is that the rest of me soon follows. So I was just coming back in from the winter paddles, just absolutely freezing. No matter what I wore, whether I wore the wetsuit or dry suit, I was coming back in cold if my hands got cold. So I tried a little bit of everything. I tried 2mm paddling gloves. And while these did a pretty good job in helping me maintain contact with the paddle, I found that my hands got just as cold with these as they did without. I tried 3mm neoprene gloves. I tried duck hunting gloves with the Kung Fu grip palms and fingers. I tried 5-3 split finger neoprene gloves, but nothing worked as well as the pogies. So pogies are essentially just these mitts that Velcro to your paddle shaft. Your hand slips inside like this. And I was completely surprised by how warm my hands stayed in here. So what you've got, your hand's completely enclosed by the mitt, but you're in direct contact with the paddle shaft at all times. Just keeps my hands absolutely warm. So this was key to me enjoying winter paddling this year in the surf ski. I don't know why they're called pogies. It's probably something that the South African surf ski paddlers came up with because they talk funny anyway. And I'm not sure why they're called pogies. It's probably something that the Australian surf ski paddlers came up with because those guys talk funny. And I don't know why it's called a pogie. All I know is that they really work well. So one thing about gloves is if you go out and it's a little bit warmer than you thought it was going to be, you figure out you don't need the gloves, or if you're doing a long paddle, it's cold when you started, and it's going to be warmer when you finish up. The gloves, you always have to figure out I can't tell you how many times I've had to turn around and go get gloves that I stuffed into a pocket or pouch somewhere and then dropped as I was paddling. So the pogies is kind of cool because they just roll up and snap around the paddle shaft. So you can just slide them out, roll them up, slide them out of the way, and they're there if you need them, and stay safely tucked out of the way if you don't. So if you don't have a pair of pogies and you're paddling surf ski in the winter, I'm going to have to highly recommend the pogie. Plus, as Barry Blackburn, the other contributor here at the Paddle Channel, says, you kind of look like Iron Man a little bit when you're paddling with these, so that's pretty cool too. So winter paddling, surf ski, grab yourself some pogies. You'll be happy you did. Whew. Hands are hot, a bit sweaty. I can't get out.